get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
I get that Donald Trump is not perfect. I get that he's made mistakes. He said things that a lot of us don't like. But this is not an election cycle about left and right. This is an election cycle about, do we have a country or not? Do we have borders or not? Do we support our cops or not? Do we stand for the national anthem or not? Do we let this drown us, or do we fight back against us? So Donald Trump is not perfect. But what I say to the critics who are on the sidelines are, don't confuse the sidelines with the moral high ground. Because if you do and continue to do what you do and undermine Donald Trump, we will get Hillary Clinton, which means we will get the fundamental transformation of America will continue. God, there's a movement that's building around Donald Trump that is not all conservatism. We acknowledge that. But if we stand on our hill of purity and perfection on every single issue, then we'll never have a candidate that we love. So realize that it's our job as conservatives to make sure that if Donald Trump is elected, he stays conservative, especially with Supreme Court justices. But to sit on the sidelines is to enable Hillary Clinton, which is to enable the radical left to keep transforming our country.
To be here, because over the last 3 years, I've realized that the Republican Party and the conservative movement is not what ABC and CBS puts on the screen. They try to portray you in the worst possible light. And when I walk through CPAC, where I travel the United States to meet people in the Tea Party who care, black, white, gay, and straight, anyone that's willing to stand next to me to fight the progressive left, I will be in that bunker. And if you're not in that bunker because you're not satisfied with this candidate, more than shame on you, you're on the other side.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Smith Radio. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the updates of last night. While you were sleeping, I stayed up all night long digging through the nuggets and scouring through the WikiLeaks emails, trying to find all the information that you need to know for when you get up and get out and go to work. Because when you get to work, people are going to start talking to you about everything that's going on, the hemorrhaging. I couldn't think of a good enough name for the title of this show, but tell me if that doesn't fit. WikiLeaks hemorrhaging Podesta emails. There's now, I think we're up to Podesta 11, and that's the 11th set of emails out. I know we're up to 17,500 documents have been released by WikiLeaks. Still don't know what's going on with Julian Assange. Apparently, there was a blackmail attempt to make Assange look like he was working with Russia and to pin a pedophile charge on him. I don't know, folks. It's just a lot of nasty stuff going around. And then apparently John Kerry did order the cutting off of Julian Assange from the world. Cut off his internet. Remove him from the world because Hillary Clinton cannot stand on her own 2 feet, according to WikiLeaks emails. And that was from Huma Abedin. She was talking to someone about a podium that was set up and a speech that Clinton was supposed to give. And she said, no, sorry, she won't be able to give a speech 45 minutes long because there's no podium. She needs a podium to lean on because she can't keep her balance. Yeah, Hillary Clinton health, very, very much in play, very much an issue. She's been MIA. She's been missing in action. She hasn't given a public appearance. She hasn't given a press briefing. She hasn't met with reporters. She has been completely invisible since I believe it was the 13th. I think we're coming up on 7 days that she's been missing. I mean, these emails are so damning and so damaging. It's just one dump after another dump after another dump. She's hating on Christians. She's hating on Catholics, which, if you listen to Smith Radio, everything we've ever been telling you is all coming true. Like, I feel like I'm living in a twilight zone right now, that everything that I said is all of a sudden true because I said it. And if I'd have known that, I would have said something different, like pixie dust and fairy trails. Anything to give me happy times, because this ain't happy, man. No, I know. It's insanity is what it is. So if you are a Christian, or you are religious in a sense, that you know that when you are laying in bed at night, you're by yourself, there is a greater power out there that you speak to. Christians, we call that God. If you are that type of person, Hillary Clinton hates you, and she wants to remove your ability to continue to practice your religion, remove your ability, or curb your ability to be able to speak to your congregation about politics. Just really hamper down on Christians and Catholics, because she's done with them. She's all in with the Muslims. She's all in with whatever that is, and bringing them to America, and then just literally decimate the rest of this country so that she becomes dictator and chancellor forever. I mean, this was what Obama said. Now listen to this very carefully. Really listen to his words and believe him when he says.
This is something that I've struggled with throughout my presidency. The problem is that, I'm the President of the United States.
The problem is I'm the President of the United States. That's the problem. The problem is I'm the President.
I'm not the Emperor of the United States.
I'm not the Emperor. The problem is I'm President. However, if I was Emperor, that would not be a problem. I'm telling you right now, Hillary Clinton is going to make that happen. That will happen. If you are a Christian out there and you're on the sidelines, or you're taking a second seat, or you're thinking, geez, I hate the fact that Donald J. Trump, he's disgusting, his potty mouth. He says grab women in a posse, and there's 9 women out there, and they're all saying that, from octopus arms and stuff and whatever, because CNN said it. They say it all day long, all night long. Whew. If that's your problem, you've got bigger problems, folks. I'm serious. I am dead. I'm serious as a heart attack. Let's look at the options. You've got Donald J. Trump for president, and you've got Hillary Rodham Clinton for jail, prison. Jill Stein for the Green Party, the Communist Party. Jill Stein came out and said, how much more of this do we have to take until somebody prosecutes this woman? Yes. And it's not me. It's a fact. They're using the government, the FBI, the CIA, the IRS. They're using all these government arms to gain more power and gain more control. I'm not making this up. Before, if I'd have told you this a year ago, you'd been like, oh, you're making that up. That's just speculation, tinfoil hat stuff. Yeah, probably. But I've got documents. I've got emails from John Podesta to back up everything that we've ever said here on Smith Radio. Yeah. It's a fact. And Julian Assange, whether John Kerry goes and hammers down and kills him or drones him or whatever, because apparently Hillary Clinton wanted to drone him and kill him. Okay, whatever they do to Julian Assange will not stop the hemorrhaging of emails that are flowing like the Nile River, like the Niagara Falls. I mean, it just, whatever acronym you want to use, whatever picture you want to use. I'm serious. This is huge. This is the biggest drop of information we have ever had in our entire lifetimes on a politician with a political career and aspirations for their next office. I mean, there are politicians right now in prison that have done a fraction. A fraction. There are politicians that have had their lives destroyed because of getting caught with a mistress, or because they claim this and they claim that, and somebody paid their wife through their campaign funds and shut it down. Dinesh D'Souza went to prison, went to jail. On the side note, he could have avoided that by not talking about it and pleading the fifth. Just saying. However, he did go to jail. He went to prison, went to jail, Dinesh D'Souza, because he persuaded two friends to donate $20,000 each to a campaign. He donated $20,000, his friend donated $20,000, and another friend donated $20,000 for a total of $60,000 to a campaign, a political campaign. He then, in turn, reimbursed his friends the money that they donated. Illegal. Going to jail. How about taking money from foreign governments, i.e. China? How about taking money from China? Taking money from China to fund your presidential aspirations in America. How criminal is that? And who are you beholden to? I'm serious, folks. You've got to wake up. Not only do you have to wake up, you have to wake your friends up. I know if you're listening to Smith Radio, I know you're awake. Because it's 6:45 in the morning. Of course you're awake. No, I know you're awake, but you've got to get this information to your friends. You've got to pass this on to your friends. They've got to know that this is what's going on, that this is serious business. Will we have a country? I really don't know. I mean, with everything that Obama has done in the last 7.5 years, he has set up just the perfect storm for the absolute destruction of America. Supreme Court justices are up for bids. There's absolutely one that will be replaced. Antonin Scalia. Yesterday I played a clip of Chelsea Clinton pretty much saying in a little talk that it's a good thing that Scalia is dead. And that he's gone because now my mommy, she referred to her my mom, that my mommy can now can put somebody in place that will help her implement gun control. Literally redefine guns. Expand that to the whole thing with religious freedom. I know we are already under attack when the government shuts down a Christian-owned run bakery for not baking a cake for lesbians or gays or whoever. They wanted a cake in the shape of a penis and a penis. And because they are Christian, they found that offensive. Although Trump said grab men policy. But this is offensive to them, and they refuse to do it. Shut them down. This is Gestapo-style tactics. This is what they did in Russia, USSR. This is what they did in Hitler's Germany. Shut them down for speaking out. Shut them down for obeying their religious freedom, their religious beliefs of peace, freedom. I believe this, this, and this. I'm not harming anyone. I am living my life in peace. Don't invade my space. Yet when they invade a Christian, someone who's a Christian, they invade their space, their business, shut them down. Shut that business down. You will get more of this with Hillary Clinton. Look at the FBI, all the docu-dumps where Clinton is involved, the State Department is involved with the FBI. This is getting to be huge, folks. This whole FBI collusion with Hillary Clinton's State Department on trying to bribe them on changing classifications of emails with a bribe, with quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. It's getting big. It's coming to a head. It's really getting huge. You got Jason Shavitz that's going absolutely nuts. You got Trey Cowdy that's involved. It's a shame that that Shavitz did a little walk back on the Trumpster. I don't know where that's going. I don't know who got to him on that. And speaking about that, just real quick on a side note, if you Google who's running for president, you got Jill Stein, who's the Communist Party. You got Gary Johnson, the Libertarian Party, Hillary Clinton on the Democrat Party, and Donald Trump on the Republican Party. You also have one more person. You have Evan McCullum. No, I'm not joking. Evan McCullum, the alternative, the conservative alternative to Donald Trump. This guy is so far out there. It's not even funny. David Evan McCullum is an American politician, former chief policy director for the House Republican Conference in the U.S. House of Representatives, former CIA operations officer. Good for you. He's running on the Republican Party. It shows the dates. It says !/2016. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how they do this. Folks, you heard the soundbite I just played. Let me play it one more time for you if you didn't hear it well enough. This is a call to Christians, a call to people who decide they're going to stand on the sidelines, a call to people who choose any other candidate other than Donald Trump. If you choose any other candidate, this is what's going to happen.
I get that Donald Trump is not perfect. I get that he's made mistakes. He said things that a lot of us don't like. But this is not an election cycle about left and right. This is an election cycle about, do we have a country or not? Do we have borders or not? Do we support our cops or not? Do we stand for the national anthem or not? Do we let this drown us, or do we fight back against us? So Donald Trump is not perfect. But what I say to the critics who are on the sidelines are, don't confuse the sidelines with the moral high ground. Because if you do and continue to do what you do and undermine Donald Trump, we will get Hillary Clinton, which means we will get the fundamental transformation of America will continue. God, there's a movement that's building around Donald Trump that is not all conservatism. We acknowledge that. But if we stand on our hill of purity and perfection on every single issue, then we'll never have a candidate that we love. So realize that it's our job as conservatives to make sure that if Donald Trump is elected, he stays conservative, especially with Supreme Court justices. But to sit on the sidelines is to enable Hillary Clinton, which is to enable the radical left to keep transforming our country.
And that's who we're talking about. We're talking about the radical left. Let's talk more about the radical left. Let's talk about Democrats. The Democrat Party is not your papa's party. The Democrat Party is the party of slavery, is the party of communism, is the party of oppression, is the party that, if you're for women's rights, not the Democrat Party. Here is a very well-spoken, well-respected black American. And I only say black not because it needs to be said, but I want you to understand that there is a large American community out there that just happens to have darker skin than you and I, that are out there pushing for Trump. This is Burguess Owens, who is an author, and this is what he has to say about what's going on with the Democrat Party and Americans today.
We need to, as a race, start looking at our principles and values first. If we're capitalists, let's stop voting for democratic socialists.
If you're a capitalist, and that's not a bad thing, that's actually a good thing, a very, very good thing. Capitalism is what has made America the greatest country that human beings have ever seen in all of written human history. Capitalism. Been muddied, mucked, bastardized, twisted, and destroyed by Democrats, Republicans alike, senators, congressmen, government, have just absolutely taken advantage of capitalism and ruined what we once had.
If we're Christians, let's stop voting for democratic atheists.
Yes, There's a book out called Godless by Ann Coulter, and she wrote an entire book about the Democrat Party, the godless, soulless Democrat Party.
If we believe in that all kids should have education no matter how poor they are, we cannot vote for the Democratic Party, including President Obama, who believes we should keep our kids segregated in these poor bad schools. And if we believe in the sanctity of life, it's time for us as a race, for those who believe this, to stand up and stop voting for these black and white Democratic Margaret Sangers who believe our kids are nothing but weeds.
Margaret Sanger, one of the founders of Planned Parenthood and lover of abortion. Democrat, one of the first feminazis, if you will, and a very staunch Democrat, and a very hardcore believer that the way to get rid of black Americans is to abort them and abort their babies because they are weeds. We must weed them out of our society for more of an Aryan nation. Yes, that is the Democrat Party, folks.
We can pull our race back by being political free agents and make the Democratic Party and the Republican Party work for our vote. Be accountable. We do that. We can not only, I think, bring our race back, but I truly believe that small minority, 28% of black Americans who feel the way I do, very patriotic, love our country, love our race, we can bring our country back at the same time.
Absolutely we can. There's no question about it. No question about it. Some of the leaked documents, the WikiLeaks documents, are showing that Hillary Clinton does not like black people either. Uses the N-word frequently when talking about Americans who happen to have dark skin. I refer to them and my friends as black Americans. She's not down with black folks or the community. She panders to them, and we've heard that time and time again. I've got hot sauce in my purse. I ain't no ways tired. I mean, just one after another after another. You just can't buy into it, and you can't believe it. Not for one split second. Something else. Here recently, the news has been blasting. CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC have been, even Fox News, have been blasting Trump because Trump is screaming foul play, voter fraud. CNN came out with an article or an article yesterday saying, "Oh, Donald Trump's just setting up for his loss." No, he's speaking truth. Emails now show the manipulation of polling data used by using more women than men and more Democrats than Republicans. This is all in the WikiLeaks. They're colluding with the pollsters and trying to help them, tell them how to manipulate the polls. And you're saying, well, okay, they manipulate the polls, then what? Well, you can kind of start to shape public opinion a little bit because people don't want to vote for somebody who's not going to win. So you can kind of get it there. But I honestly believe that they manipulate the polls on purpose so that the polls match up with the end result, which is what they cheated on. Because if the polls show that Trump is up 15 points everywhere across the board, which seems to be true, some places even more, then when Hillary wins, there'll be an outcry, an uprising. There'll be a civil war and an overthrow of Hillary Clinton. However, if all the polls show that it's neck and neck, and she wins by just a vote, hanging Chad out of Florida, not much you can do about that. It was close, folks. Got to move on. That's why you got to get your friend, your mom's friends, your friend's friends, your dad's friends, everybody's friends. Get everybody to vote. Voting is critical. Now is not the time to stand down or stand by. Do not be that guy. Back during 2012, I'm going to sit out and show the Republican Party. I'm going to teach them a lesson. How well did that lesson go, and how much did they learn from that lesson? None. Zero. Nada. They don't care about you or your lessons. I'm for real. Something else that's out now, exclusive FBI agents say Comey stood in the way of Clinton email investigation by the Daily Caller. This is going to be absolutely damning. People are coming out of the woodwork left and right. Professionals that work for the FBI, private citizens that work outside the government, and government public officials. They're absolutely outraged with everything that is going on with Hillary Clinton, and people are starting to come out. Wayne Dupree had his show last night. He does the same thing that we do on Spreaker as well. And Wayne Dupree had his show about a rigged system. Bob Creamer and Scott Foval stepping down proves the authenticity of James O'Keefe's video. Even more 100% legit. Because these two Democrats had to step down because they were caught on camera talking about fraud, voter fraud. James O'Keefe came out with this. Bob Creamer, Scott Foval, fired. There's a reason for that. It's because it's true. That was the other thing I was telling you about, the full docs and investigations into the plot to frame Julian Assange as pedophile and Russian spy. Yeah, it didn't go over very well. New bombshell evidence exposes Hillary's pays domestic terrorists to incite violence. Yes, it has been exposed. The Democrat Party is paying people to start violent uprisings and create terrorists. It's just, the information's out there. If you want to put your head in the sand and you want to ignore that she's not doing this and she's not as corrupt as we say she is, go look at the movie, watch the movie Clinton Cash, read the book Clinton Cash, watch the movie by Dinesh D'Souza, Hillary's America. I mean, just on and on, one after another after another. It is out there. All the emails that are dumping, they're all out there. She's missing in action. I'm going to tell you right now, tomorrow night is the last and final presidential debate, and people like David Axelrod are saying that she should just skip the debate and just forego it. I think he might be doing that because she might be dead right now. Either that or she's incapacitated right now. She's in a state of kind of like how Stalin was, how they put him in a glass box. Something like that. Like she's in a glass box or I don't know what to tell you, folks. I expect this third debate tomorrow night to be explosive. It should be huge. It should be very explosive. Can't wait to watch. Breaking news, GOP Chairman Jason Chaffetz and Nunez seek to oust State Department Undersecretary over Quid Pro Quo scandal, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Hillary Clinton campaign is constantly trying to find ways to make Hillary Clinton look friendly, and even they admit she isn't. Yes, in emails back and forth, the people working with Hillary are so sick and tired of Hillary. It's coming down. Hashtag drain the swamp, by the way, that's trending. More proof that Democrat Soros-backed plot to subvert the Catholic Church and push their progressive agenda. Hashtag Podesta emails 11. It's out there, folks. They are coming for us, coming for our political freedoms. First Amendment, right to free speech, right, our religious freedoms. Second Amendment, our guns. Fourth Amendment, right to search and seizure. They can come into your house, take you over whenever they feel they need to. Fifth Amendment, only Democrats are allowed to plead the Fifth. Republicans, no, you're not allowed to plead the Fifth. Of course not. What? To plead the Fifth? I don't think so. Okay, check this out real quick. Sound clip on Fox on the FBI finds something very interesting on the dark web.
It's hard to dispute what is written in that 302, and we're going to talk more about that. We're also learning about a potential breach of classified information related to Hillary Clinton, right?
Well, yeah, you're right, Martha. One of the FBI files we're getting a look at is an interview with an intelligence community contractor who specializes in deep searches into the web. This isn't stuff you can Google. Well, an FBI summary reported that interview reports that files were found on the dark web associated with Clinton aide Sid Blumenthal, who was hacked in 2013. And also a highly sensitive file that appears to be associated with the Clinton server. Quote, the file did not come from Blumenthal's server, but contained a reference to an IP address range that included the IP address of Clinton's server. Redacted, became concerned he had found a classified document and stopped the project. The FBI documents also show career State Department personnel were suspicious of a group of employees, a special group brought in to review the emails. Some of them had connections to lawyer David Kendall, who is Hillary Clinton's longtime personal attorney. Martha
McCullum on Fox News. And what does all that mean? That means that the FBI found Clinton hacked documents on the dark web, and Clinton and crew had put together a team through her lawyer to review the documents. So basically, she was reviewing her own documents and deciding on what to do with them. Criminal. Still criminal. You can't do this. You just can't. I mean, you would live in a banana republic if she does not serve, if justice is not served to this woman. I'm telling you, in my lifetime and your lifetime, if justice is not served, we do not live in a democracy anymore. We live in a banana republic to where politicians can literally get away with anything. If you want to commit crime, become a politician. You'll be good to go. You'll get away with just about anything. They're claiming that right now that there's up to, I think up to 57 murders linked directly to Hillary Clinton. Linked. Oh, there's also this, this guy, the keeper, the fixer. He was referred to as the fixer. He was involved with the Clintons for many, many, many decades, all the way back when they were in the White House, all the way back in Arkansas. And his job was to take care of everything underneath on the down low. And he's come out, and he can't take it anymore. He's like, this is what the Clintons are, I'm telling you. Hillary Clinton, at one point in time, many, many occasions where she wanted to be with women, wanted to be with men, wanted to be with whoever, I would set that up. I would arrange that, make that happen, and slip that in. Bill Clinton, same thing. And then you're wondering, I don't wonder, but Carrie and I were talking about this yesterday, that Hillary Clinton never caught Bill Clinton cheating, and Bill Clinton never caught Hillary Clinton cheating because they both knew that not to come looking for each other if neither one of them were around. Right. What a very, very strange and disconnected relationship. Based on money. Based on money, politics, and power. The sinful natures of the Clintons. Here's a little excerpt from Ronald Reagan that is still as valid and as important today as it has ever been. And I need to play this to you because, folks, you need to listen to his words. He is speaking of today as if he were here today.
Alexander Hamilton said, a nation which can prefer disgrace to danger is prepared for a master and deserves one. Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? Well, Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, When the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than dead, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shot heard round the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. You and I have the ability and the dignity and the right to make our own decisions and determine our own destiny.
I have visited the laid-off factory workers and the communities crushed by our horrible and unfair trade deals. These are the forgotten men and women of our country. People who work hard but no longer have a voice. I am your voice.
Yes, folks. That was Donald J. Trump. I am your voice. He is the voice. It's not about Donald Trump anymore, folks. It is about the movement. It is about... wow, Mr. Producer. It is about the movement that we're involved in right now. It is about saving America from the left, from tyranny, from socialism. That's what this is about. You've got to get on board. You can't stand on the sidelines anymore. You've got to get on the wagon. We've got to get going. We've got to finish this off. We will hold his feet to the fire. We will hold Trump's feet to the fire to keep him conservative. Don't worry. We've got people up there.
With unfathomable power.
What kind of power?
Unfathomable. It's without fathom.